friends, it's Miss Alyssa again. I have another story for you from Eric Carle. This one is called A House for Hermit Crab. Do you see the crab on the front? I hope you enjoy this story. I sure miss you guys. I like making videos so I can say hello to you. Do you see what color he is? He's red. A house for hermit crab. Do you see other animals? Yeah, I see a fish and two crabs. Time to move, said Hermit Crab one day in January. I've grown too big for this shell. He felt safe and snug in his shell, but now it was too snug. Hermit Crab stepped out of the shell and onto the floor of the ocean. But it was frightening out in the open sea without a shell to hide in. What if a big fish comes along and attacks me? He thought. I must find a new house soon. Do you see the fish? Yeah, look, he's climbing out of his shell. Early in February, Hermit Crab found just the right house he was looking for. It was a big shell and strong. He moved right in, wiggling and waggling about inside to see how it felt. It felt just right. But it looked so, well, so plain, thought Hermit Crab. Look, he is outside of his shell. Look, he got in his shell. In March, Hermit Crab met some sea anemones. They swayed gently back and forth in the water. How beautiful you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to come and live on my house? It's so plain, it needs you. I'll come, whispered a small anemone. Gently, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and put it on his shell. Look, he's going to put it on. In April, Hermit Crab passed a flock of starfish. They were moving slowly along the sea floor. How handsome you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to decorate my house? I would, signaled a little sea star. Carefully, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and put it on his house. Do you see he has a sea anemone on his house? Now he's going to put a starfish on his house. In May, Hermit Crab discovered some coral. They were hard and didn't move. How pretty you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to help make my house more beautiful? I would, creaked a crusty coral. Gingerly, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it on his shell. Look, now he has two things on his shell. He's going to add some of the coral. In June, Hermit Crab came to a group of snails crawling over a rock on the ocean floor. They grazed as they went, picking up algae and bits of debris and leaving a neat path behind them. How tidy and hard-working you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to come and help clean my house? I would, offered one of the snails. Happily, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it on his shell. In July, Hermit Crab came upon several sea urchins. They had sharp, prickly needles. How fierce you look, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to protect my house? I would, answered a spiky sea urchin. Gratefully, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it near his shell. Oh, this is different. He didn't put the anemone on his shell. He placed it near his shell. Let's see what that looks like. Look, near or next to. In August, Hermit Crab and his friends wandered into a forest of seaweed. It's so dark here, thought Hermit Crab. How dim is it, murmured the sea anemone. How gloomy is it, whispered the starfish. How murky is it, complained the coral. I can't see, said the snail. It's like nighttime, cried the sea urchin. Oh, it does look like nighttime. I agree. In September, Hermit Crab spotted a school of lanternfish. Look, they have lights darting through the dark water. How bright are you, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to light up our house? I would, replied one lanternfish, and it swam over near the shell. Did you hear what he said? Hermit Crab said something different. He didn't say my house. He said our house, because he has more beings living with him now. It's not just his, it's theirs. So he said ours. Just like your house is, you would say it's our house because it belongs to your whole family, right? That's what he's saying. In October, Hermit Crab approached a pile of smooth pebbles. How sturdy are you, said Hermit Crab. Would you mind if I rearranged you? Not at all, answered the pebbles. Hermit Crab picked them up one by one with his claw and built a wall around his shell. Now my house is perfect, cheered Hermit Crab. Do you see the pebbles? Yeah, that's another name for rocks. But in November, Hermit Crab felt that his shell seemed a bit too small. Little by little, over the year, Hermit Crab had grown. Soon, he would have to find another bigger home. But he had come to love his friends. The sea anemone, the starfish, the coral, the sea urchin, the snail, the lanternfish, and even the smooth pebbles. They have been so good to me, thought Hermit Crab. They are like a family. How can I ever leave them? In December, a smaller hermit crab passed by. I've outgrown my shells, she said. Would you know of a place for me? I've outgrown my house too, answered Hermit Crab. I must move on. But you're welcome to live here. But you must promise to be good to my friends. I promise, said the little crab. The following January, Hermit Crab stepped out and the little crab moved in. Couldn't stay in that little shell forever, said Hermit Crab as he waved goodbye. The ocean floor looked wider than he had remembered, but Hermit Crab wasn't afraid. Soon he spied the perfect house, a big empty shell. It looked, well, a little plain. See the big shell? But sponges, he thought, barnacles, clownfish, sand dollars, electric eels. Oh, there are so many possibilities. I can't wait to get started. The end. That was such a cute story. Did you know that animals can have houses too? That's what his shell is his house. So he invited people to live with him that became his family. Just like we have people that live in our houses. Some people are our family and some people are our friends that become our family. And we can decorate our house and make it our own, just like we even do our classroom. So guys, thank you for listening to this story. It was a little bit longer today, but I think it's a fun story. I hope you have a great long weekend this weekend, and Miss Alyssa and Miss Michelle miss you guys. See you later. Bye.